Oh, me, oh, my, your favorite Clipper podcast is back. This is the other team with your three favorite hoops connoisseurs, aficionados. You see the man rubbing his clammy hands together over there. That's T. Scott.
No
Scott
clam.
writes, Terrence.
Always dry, always under.
Probably always the
I'm
sweatiest in here,
cool.
if I'm going to be real. He's got the hat today working. Kudos there. Shout out Richmond Spiders. And then you have the odd, nerdy, awkward man in your other screen. That's Jacob Handy. He's also part of this crew.
That was my Tim
in.
Duncan.
All right. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that was solid. Good Tim Duncan. And yours truly, Zach Handy up here. As I said, it's the Clipper podcast. The other team, we're referencing that other team in LA. ep3 here. Thanks to everybody who's been listening, watching, retweeting, sharing, commenting. We appreciate that. Always comment to us, man, throughout the week, whenever you want. If you want to talk anything hoops, if you want us to talk about anything hoops related, we're always open to hearing that stuff, and we're glad to talk about it on here for you guys. But most importantly, we just appreciate y'all listening. We enjoy doing this. There's like one topic. There's one hot topic that really anyone's gonna want to talk about. I'm not gonna sit here and bore everyone with every game they play all year long. You know, we'll get into some game action later. We'll get into the Bucks game tonight. But because of the Bucks game, is why we want to talk about this. Because load management, the ever so cruel to the fan. Oh, how dare you not play when I buy my tickets? The load management on a back-to-back has struck again early in the season. And you two guys are thrilled about it, aren't you?
I just don't understand why we're doing load management so early into the season. Like, I understand the big picture. Like, I truly do. But, like, man, I'm not even an old guy, but I'm over here thinking back, like, man, Karl Malone was flying commercial, playing 3 days straight, and we over here talking about load management. Like, and those guys played in a more physical era. But I get it. Earl Watson brought up probably the best point I heard today when he brought up how AAU is really affecting players in this generation, because kids are playing so much basketball before they even get to the highest level, to where it is burning their bodies out. It's kind of similar to when you think about in football, when you see like a 9-year-old playing in pads and getting hit, and you're like, man, this kid shouldn't be getting hit. Like, he should be playing flag football and just developing these skills, because you only have so many hits you can take in football. And in basketball, we have to start thinking about it that same way. Like, your knees and your body can only take so many jumps and so much running before it's going to start breaking down. So we really should start thinking about on the lower levels, not having kids play so much, because it is going to affect them if they ever do get to that level. Because load management stinks, dude. Who doesn't want to see their best players playing against each other? I really wanted to see Kawhi go against the Greek Freak tonight.
Guard him, right? Like, guard Giannis all night. This guy's been on a tear. I want to see that. I mean, I get what you're saying with the AAU. Kawhi just had his second load management game in 8 games. He's missed 2 games in 8 games. Like, he's not even 30, dude. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing right
Exactly. And a lot of these guys weren't even in the era of where AAU is as big as it is now. So I don't even know if we can use that excuse. So it's just
how about this? In a year where everything's supposed to be so close, what if the Clippers miss a home court seed by 2 games, 3 games? You're going to look back at these L's like, man, we could have had a home
in
court.
a position to, like, the Clippers they share the city with one of the most dominant franchises in the history of the NBA. They need to try to seize every single moment and every opportunity they have. And by having Kawhi Leonard in town, like, I get it. If you guys win a championship, yeah, you guys seize the moment. But at the same time, no championships are guaranteed. This isn't necessarily a proven method that load management works. Right. So it's just, it worked last year for him. And the stars aligned, and let's hope the stars align again for the Clippers. But I don't necessarily say I'll put all my ducks in a hat and say load management is a proven method, especially for a new team when they have so many new pieces that they do need, in a sense, to play with each other in jail. So it's a lot going on, but it's early. I don't want to jump with my hair on fire, but load management sucks. It sucks.
Yeah, right.
I'm
not going to jump, but let's just say that load management sucks. Zach, tell us why it doesn't suck.
Two things.
Doesn't suck?
I agree. One thing is, I agree with the youth and playing too much. You used the reference to football. I would think it's like when you're having kids play travel baseball and you're putting so many miles on their shoulder or their arm pitching.
Yeah, exactly. Similar to that as well.
That's what I would think of. So I agree there. Teenagers and the youth should probably be focusing more on skill development instead of trying to get in as many games as possible in a year. I agree there. What I don't really have a problem with is load management in the NBA. Why does it matter that it's happening early? Why do I have to burn my player out in order to rest him late?
Out.
What's more important?
It'd be okay if you had one of them.
What's more important? A win in November against the Bucks or taking your team to the best it's ever been in June? Like, what's more important there? And the answer is June, and we all know that. And you guys keep saying, well, why are we doing it so early? Why does it matter if I rest him now or I rest him late? Why do I have to burn him into the ground before I can rest him instead of gradually keeping him at a great pace in a great condition all year?
Burning him to the ground. We're like 2 weeks into the season. How are we burning you?
Because you're not now, but playing him every back-to-back until February, he'll be burnt by then. So why do I have to do that now when I can just make the commitment?
Like, they give these guys more days off than they ever given these guys. They fly first class. These guys are nutritioned out of their mind. I don't understand.
Chill, dude. The Bucks have days where they literally lock you out of practice. Like, that's when you load manage. Like, hold a guy out of practice for a couple days. I want you there game time.
I also think the elephant in the room is that they've given these players a lot of opportunity, and everybody says, screw it, we're going to run with it. And I don't blame them. It's just like in your normal day life, if your job gives you more days off, would you be like, oh, no, bro, I'm coming to work? Hell no, I take these sick days. Like, so I'm starting to look at it from a different perspective in a lot of different ways. And it's like, it probably isn't that way, and we're just making light of it. But shit, dude, load management.
I think it's a bummer that
in a lot of different ways.
The number one ticket and the hottest team in the league has 2 early back-to-backs, right? Like, would it be the same uproar if the Lakers had 2 early back-to-backs and they were the first team to start load managing, or if it was the Sixers with 2 early back-to-backs, or the Bucks?
Forgive me, when they
or like a perennial
against
contender.
Utah.
I think
was that a back-to-back?
It was a back-to-back. It was the first game of the back-to-back. San Antonio was the next night.
Right. Okay. I will say this: if the Lakers load managed and it was LeBron, I don't think there'd be uproar because it's year 17. He's older. Like, that makes sense. I think if they load managed and it was AD, I think that would bring uproar. I think they would be like, why? AD's in his fucking prime. What are we doing here? I think that would.
AD's consistently hurt, which is why I would not like the Lakers' first back-to-back is either next week or the week after. I looked it up. It's Warriors are on. It's Suns and then Warriors.
Such favorable Lakers.
That Suns is gonna get a rest.
I anticipate that one of those two will sit one of those games. If you're a perennial top 5 team, just like the Rockets, whenever their next back-to-back is, I expect Westbrook or Harden to probably sit out. Like, if you're a perennial top 5 team in your conference and you're basically a lock to get in.
This is about how everybody load manages.
Right. But that's fine. I don't think it's a problem. If you're on a back-to-back and you're a perennial team that's going to make the playoffs, I'm resting my guys all year on back-to-back.
The Suns rest Devin Booker.
Zach.
But that's a team that has to fight for a spot. I'm not... See, that's a problem to me.
The Suns last year were resting Devin Booker because they didn't want to overload his load. Like, dude, everybody's doing it. It's just starting
that to me is a problem. I think if you're a fringe
team, NBA goes.
If you're a fringe playoff team and you're trying to make the playoffs, you can't really afford to throw the towel in on certain nights. So that's more like tanking to me, and I don't agree with tanking. I think you should still be trying to win. I think tanking creates a bad culture in your system and like in your team system and that type of stuff. But if you are a perennial playoff team that is basically a lock to get in, I'm all for load management. I have no problem with it whatsoever. Important games are in June than they are in November.
But you don't worry about these games coming back to bite you in the ass, missing out on the 1 seed or a playoff, a home court advantage in some round or another due to losing games early like this?
Sure, maybe the home court. I'm not worried. Like, the 1 seed is cool, but the 1 seed is essentially like not a big deal to me.
Unless you're in the finals, though. And you have to go to Toronto, or not, it won't be Toronto, but it's going to be the difference between Philadelphia coming to LA for 4 games or you going to Philadelphia for 4 games or whatever. Like, all these games, to me, this is the year when it's going to be so close. This is the year I don't want to just waste games away like that. Everything's going to be so close. Like, you can just take advantage of that. Play your games and get the 1 seed. If you
I
can't,
think it hurts now because Paul's out, right? So now you're saying you're just throwing these games away. But look how good this Clipper team just played against Milwaukee. They darn near won the game against Milwaukee. So
didn't.
Okay, but like when they start load managing in another 2 weeks, we're gonna have one of your stars in there. You're gonna pull these games out on these back-to-backs, and you're gonna be fine.
Which is exactly what we started this saying. Why are we doing it now? Why aren't we waiting for 2 weeks when Paul comes back to start doing that?
Because
exactly what we're getting.
You have to commit. Like I'm all for committing to the back-to-backs. Like it hurt. Like I said, it hurts now because you have 2 early ones. But I was willing to roll the dice with these 2 games, 100%.
The Clippers have 13 back-to-backs. If Kawhi sits one in every, or 13 sets of back-to-backs. If he sits one in every one, and that's the only games he misses, he plays 69 games. Is that a good season? 69?
It's fine. Not a problem with it.
If 69 is not bad. But I would prefer him at
13 misses?
75.
Right. I agree. Terrence, I agree.
Do I want to see the guy play? Of course I want to see him play. But do I have a problem with committing to the philosophy of load management and making sure he's as healthy as possible come June? 100%. That's the bigger picture to me.
I think we all understand the purpose of load management. It's just unfortunate. Like, it just sucks from a few different ways. And it's like, it's really, really whack if you don't win the title.
Right. It's going to look I mean, I guess nobody would might not even talk about it, but yeah, it looks whack.
No, it'll look really whack. But one thing I did hear that I do want to mention about Kawhi, though, because Kawhi does have an injury history, and they do say he has some kind of tissue issue with like his calf
thing. His quad
or something. His quad or his calf. I don't know what it is. I should have looked it up before. But it's some sort of tissue issue. If that is the case, then they should just be transparent and say the man he's injured.
Well, that's why the NBA hasn't like penalized the Clippers yet for it, especially on like a nationally televised game like tonight, because they said he's dealing with injury, so it's fine.
Because it's like, if that really, but they should be transparent more with the public so people could really just put this issue to rest. Because it's like, if he really is dealing with something that he's just trying to prolong his career, then that makes sense. Like, these guys are human at the same time. We really shouldn't bash him for that. But if a guy's sitting healthy on the sidelines, that's where the issue lies.
Okay, so here's another issue that I can raise to you guys. Come MVP time, if Kawhi only plays 69 games and he's considered a perennial MVP candidate, and let's say the other candidates have played the 74, 75, if those guys have played whatever, whoever else is going to be there, right? If those guys have played the 74, 75 games that you want, is that 5-6 game difference matter to you in MVP voting?
Yes, plus Giannis already won the hearts of everybody with what he said on his night. Even if coach told me I couldn't play, he said I wouldn't allow it to happen. I would play. I don't believe in that. And he was cool about it. I respect what, every organization's different.
Well, we didn't do load management.
He goes, no, he didn't. He goes, exactly. He goes, I wouldn't do it. Like, I'd play every night. Okay, so I mentioned the blackout.
LeBron didn't really
Giannis goes to the local high school to get shot.
LeBron is the first person to do load management that I recall that got uproar. But it was in year 14. It was in year 14.
It was the same year, and it was the Spurs were doing it with Kawhi.
14.
Remember, the Spurs and Bron were doing it the same year, and they were getting mad because Popovich kept holding all of his guys out on the TNT games. And like Parker wouldn't play, or Kawhi wouldn't play, or Ginobili or whatever. And that's how this rule came to be. The NBA was pissed about it. The Bron and the Spurs that same year did it, and the NBA was like not fucking having it. There was a game, Spurs Heat, and like they were all sitting.
But just think how late Bron did in his career. Like, at least it was later on, and we starting to be like, it's age. But like I said, if he's hurt and he does have an issue, the only issue lies. It really isn't an issue because we understand what it's about. But the only thing that really does bring concern to people and makes people upset is that if he is truly healthy and you're just resting somebody, it's like, man, from a fan's perspective, from the people that really did just spend $400 to bring their 4 kids to the game to see Greek Freak and Giannis because they bought these tickets 2 months ago thinking that this game was amazing, that shit sucks. So
I feel that
it's entertainment.
That's a tough price to pay, and it sucks. And
but if he wins a title,
I'm gonna feel like an animal saying it, but I think there's bigger concerns than that, and that's.
I feel you saying that these games are gonna look like small potatoes come May.
I think come May these games look like small potatoes, and the important thing is that Kawhi is
It's game time.
You know.
Okay, are you ready? I am ready.
I'm ready
This
to
is.
get
I
my
feel
It's
like
ball.
time
this
for
is going
America's
to be.
favorite game show.
Yeah, America's favorite game show. I think this is going to be amongst the favorite things we do.
What are we
Clippers.
playing
Taryn,
for, Bob?
yeah.
Just the Clippers.
Terrence, you can go ahead and
All
you can unravel this as you're the host, and me and Jacob will be the contestants. You go
right.
ahead and let everyone know what the deal is.
So, since this is a Clipper podcast, I want everybody to understand these two guys are lifelong Clippers fans. So they should have a deep, deep,
I'm
deep
so
plethora
nervous.
of knowledge about Clipper rosters. Don't get me wrong, America and all other countries listening, because you know we will get worldwide because we pop in. But I want you guys to understand, I'm not a Clipper fan, but I am a basketball genius. I've always watched sports. I've definitely grew up watching the Clippers. I'm from LA area, so I grew up watching them on KTLA. So you already know what it is.
I'm
So
from
trust
LA
me, I know
area.
what I'm talking about. And I ain't gonna be like, oh, I'm from LA. I ain't necessarily. I'm from where
Paul's
PG
from.
from. I'm
The
from where
only
PG
time,
from.
the only time I was from LA was when I was on a traveling high school sports trip, and they asked, "Where are you from?" Ah, we
Now I
play
would
in
always
LA.
say Palmdale because we get
We play
buckets
in
out
LA.
there.
I play in LA, girl.
All right.
Where you from?
So we playing Gas Tag Clipper. I'm gonna give you guys 5 Clippers from all ranges from whenever. I should have gave you some Buffalo, but I didn't. I didn't give you any San Diego. It's just gonna be in
I'm
All
so
these
LA.
scared.
Clippers were
I'm
Los
terrified.
Angeles.
I have
I'm
never seen
terrified.
anybody that you're gonna show us, so I'm terrified.
Let's get it. Share the screen.
Oh man.
Dun, dun, dun. Zach and I are on a
Or
team, right? We got to collab on this answer.
you
Oh, are
can
we?
do it. You need to do. I would rather you guys go one by one.
Oh yeah, that's my guy. That's
my guy.
boy.
100%.
That's my boy.
100%. Nailed it.
You
All
want to
right.
go, Jake?
You want to call it, or you want me to call it, Zach?
Can I say it first?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
a lottery pick out of Central Michigan in 2003.
Go
Zach?
ahead, Jake. The
That is the
caveman,
caveman. Yeah.
Chris Kaman. Big
Love
fans. We big fans.
A
of
great
Zeke.
mid-range jumper. In a day where the mid-range has been lost, that was a really good mid-range jumper.
Hey, Kaman had some cups, man.
Yeah,
Kaman had some
I
cups.
feel like that was I feel like that was more of a floater than a mid range. That was
Yeah,
easy.
that felt good.
We're getting a little harder.
Let my feet wet getting into that one.
Ooh. It's a tough picture.
I know this buff. Freaking bum. Yeah, he did play with the 3. Oh,
Go back up. Go back up.
no, you're not gonna help Curry. No, it's what is his name, man?
Yo.
I played with
Yeah.
Elton Brand, Quentin Richardson, Darius Miles.
It's oh gosh,
I
what's
feel like he got a
guy's name?
Euro name.
Indeed.
It is. It's
Like
what's
some
his?
type of itch. Lopsidge or something like that.
No, it's I wanted like I almost want to say
10,
it's not Radmanovich.
9,
It's like oh
8,
man, I don't know his gosh darn
7,
I'm
name.
throwing in the towel.
6.
I don't got it.
Zach,
No, I don't know.
Marco Yarich.
Yeah,
I told you it was
God,
an itch. I knew it.
golly.
Moving on, 1-1.
Ah, man. All right, let's go. Oh, look at this guy.
Terrence about to get me exposed out here.
Let's see,
Leaving
what
me.
is this?
This guy used to be fat. Look at those stretch marks.
I was the number 1 pick by the Clippers.
Can I get a year?
It's
No.
Michael Olowokandi.
Jake.
I'll concur with Michael Olowokandi because I feel like he was one of the number 1 picks.
Bingo.
Zachary Handy! Knuckle butt me through fucking the
Good
camera.
job, Zach. Good job. Good job. Good job. Where we at here, fellas? Fan favorite.
It was a fan favorite. It's he liked the Clippers smush Parker. Like like
I got nothing here again. I'm exposed. I don't know these.
It's,
I'm mad I didn't get fucking Yarich.
Yeah, I needed you on your shake. Michael Olowokandi, we got those. What is his name?
Told you,
God,
fellas, this one was gonna be hard.
this guy's hard too, but he is. He reminded me of Smush. Go ahead, tell me who it is.
Keon Dooling.
Oh man,
Good New York Hooper, I feel like.
I will disclose that was the Eric Pikowski slot, so I did call Omaha.
We would have
the
nailed that. I told you I would have nailed the Pikowski.
Yeah, but I feel like that should have been more like 2.
All right, for the money. Oh, shit. Is that no, he's too tall.
The story. I corrected it. I allegedly got robbed for my chain while on a car, and I cannot confirm this story.
Wow. It's got a good look. I like those unis, man.
Yeah, those
He,
were
I
great
believe,
unis.
is now in media as well.
You say he's
Now in media, huh? Why didn't you throw
But
up the
nothing you
picture of
probably
me
heard of.
and Cat Mobley the other day? That was a layup. I would have liked to see that. Oh man.
That would have been cool to represent. So
Ah,
I didn't think of
I
it.
don't
We'll
have this
wait
one.
next week, kid.
He's
That is
too tall to
Keith
be.
Kloss.
Oh wow, yeah.
Look at Ralph in the background, Zach. Look how young Ralph looked.
That's not Ralph.
That's
No.
Ralph
definitely
Lawler.
not Ralph. That is not Ralph. All right. Bonus.
Dude, this guy played for both LA teams like 5 stints. I want to.
That's the guy that James Harden murdered one time on the court in front of everybody.
God, did he murder him? Good
James
God.
Harden single-handedly ruined this man's career out of left field on a regular night in the NBA.
That should have been your clue.
Let's keep
James
this
Harden
tally.
killed me.
That's Wesley.
So 3-3?
This score going.
3-3?
Jacob had like 2.
I thought we were playing as a team.
Yeah, next week we'll play different because I'm gonna give you guys different ones per person.
Well, I
so
got,
we can.
by the way.
You got what, Zach? What'd you say?
Oh no, I did only get 3 because I didn't get yards. Wait, so who did I get? 1, 2.
You got. Oh, we got the same. We're gonna get the same. We got Cayman, Olowokandi, and.
So you're just riding on my coattails now. Is what's happening. I got it.
You crush it with Olowokandi. That's fine. I'll give you that. I should have had Yarich. I basically had
Hop
half.
on my
I had
back.
itch. I had the itch.
Hop on. The itch got you nothing. That was not even a half a point.
That's a half a
Teacher
point.
laughed when she graded your test.
That's a
She
half a
laughed hard.
Partial
Man. No, not partial credit. Here you go. Wow. I'm
That was
stoked.
fun.
That was fun. I was really excited about that. Wow,
Hey,
the Keon dueling was good.
We'll get that one.
And
Yeah, I wanted to start it out hard just to see where you guys really was at to fill the water out with you true Clipper fans, but felt like the water.
I
was
love
a
that
little
you picked Cayman #1, dude. I actually really did love Chris Cayman as a Clipper.
Big fans.
I
Big
came in to get you excited, like, ooh, this is gonna be something easy, and then just fucking drowned you.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you hit me with Yarich. I'm like,
I thought you would get that one. I'm not gonna lie. I thought you would get yours.
I knew it was European. Like I couldn't get it. I was like, who the?
What's stupid is I had Elton Brand. I was like, the fuck? He's in our Twitter page. Like, definitely don't throw Elton Brand. That wasn't gonna work.
So I know that we talked about the load management, and you guys hate it. Not big fans of it. Doesn't really bother me.
I do want to say a few things on my Charles Barkley.
Yeah.
Can I say a few things? So, first off, Patrick Beverly was low-key knocking shit down tonight. So that's a good thing. Shamit was knocking shots down. Mo Hartless is shooting like he really can shoot. I was surprised by that. Robin Lopez, what the fuck is going on the side note? I don't know why he's shooting threes. But I do want to step to the side to the other team because I did say some outlandish shit, and I probably should just backtrack it early on. LeBron's not losing a step at all, I guess. So,
let me get ahead of this.
Delete that episode 1.
That's elite level. That's elite level media right there, dude. Just way out ahead of it. Way out ahead of it. I love where your head's at.
This guy, I don't know if he's gonna keep it up, but I'm gonna just tell you now, like he ain't. Right now, you looking good, kids. You're the king, so I'm gonna just
LeBron
say,
James
do your
revenge
thing,
tour
man.
is looking nasty. It's looking.
And I thought he was gonna be on a revenge tour, but then he came out looking nasty. I was like, "What the hell was that?" But the revenge tour is for real, so I'm excited for that side of it. Well, so it should be a lovely time in LA. I can't wait.
You guys saw
Hopefully,
what
load management hits both sides.
Colin said on the herd today.
He
said, "Book the parade for LA right now. Just don't paint the bus yet. It's either going to be red and blue or it's going to be purple and gold." Spicy. He said that's the 2 best teams in the league without a doubt. I agreed with him. I agreed with that it's the 2 best teams as of right now in the league.
Any closing thoughts for y'all? Anybody got something else?
I was gonna say Montrezl Harrell absolutely
Cups.
thrilled. I'm thrilled. I would say I'm honestly astonished that in 2 years, how much he successfully worked on his offensive games. Because people work on their offensive game all the time, but he has successfully found what works for him, how to penetrate defenses, how to score against defenses, and he's really expanded his game immensely, I think, in 2 seasons. Tonight, obviously, he had a lot of freedom. He was able to pull 25 shots, but the 34 points tonight, and it's an every night basis. He came into the night number 2 in the league in field goal percentage, 75% a game. He's taking shots that he knows he can make, and he's attacking defenders. I'm thrilled. I think he is one of the best stories in the NBA, and I think that's without saying.
More. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Super agree. 3-point shooting is slowly becoming a problem, although I think the law of averages will even it out with how all these shooters that are not shooting threes well for the Clippers right now. I think that will end up evening out, but it is something to look forward to. I also think Paul George will help the 3-point shooting. Obviously, he's a really good 3-point shooter. Beverly was better tonight. We agreed. Took Shamit, though, until
Great tonight.
Yeah, it took Shamit until 4 minutes left to get going. JaMychal Green couldn't hit a lot of threes tonight, so I will say it's something to keep an eye on. Am I worried about it yet? I'm not. Like I said, I think the law of averages is going to end up evening all that out. Patrick Beverly did this last year. He started off so slow, and then like about 16, 17 games in, he just like absolutely took off. But, I mean, 3-4 more games of this kind of lackluster 3-point shooting, then I would say it's something to really look at. But
I don't think it's lackluster. I think they've missed big threes. They shot 42% tonight from 3, which is I'll take that. If they shoot 40% every night from 3, I'll take that. But I think they missed big ones, and that's why it feels like they missed more.
Well, Shamit made 3 in a row or 3 or 4 down the stretch there, which is going to help your percentages. But like they missed a lot going on. Like I mean,
I don't think it was a
Milwaukee made 18 threes tonight or something like that, and the Clippers made 12.
18, yeah. 13 of 31.
13, and 4 of them came in the last 3 minutes of the game.
I know
so
one thing. To look at. I didn't like how we defended Kawhi tonight. I didn't like how the Kawhi, how they defended Giannis. I didn't like the fact that they were sagging off, making him shoot. I'm like, these guys are NBA players. Like
he went 4 of 7 from 3, but I think that's the way you have to defend him. If he hits 4 of 7, you gotta live with it.
Any NBA player like that, let alone a superstar, like he's gonna knock shit down, dude. I'm different. Like even if I can't shoot, I'm different. These shits are gonna drop sooner or later. So I want to defend him like that.
I just feel plus like they got guys. If you got Montrez on him, they had Trez on him a lot of the night.
They had JaMychal Green on him too. Like you have guys that could guard him out there to not give him that space. The only guy out there I think who couldn't do it is Zubac. But Zubac actually defended him pretty well.
I think Trez is going to get ran by and dunked on if he tries to step out on Giannis, personally.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think
Giannis is going to get right to the cup if he does that. Same with JaMychal, personally.
I think I'm living with Giannis shooting the ball. I'm living with it because it's broke. It's broke a lot of the time.
I don't know. It's just tough seeing guys shoot open jump shots, but I feel you.
I mean, some guys are fucking unstoppable. Some guys are Giannis, dude.
Yeah, well, soon it's gonna be don't give me that either. So
the league's in trouble when that day comes. The league is in trouble.
That day is coming a lot sooner than people think.
I don't know. Okay, so let's get a quick tangent before we wrap this up. Okay, we were texting about this watching the game because I'm sure this is a shock to everybody, but we all text basketball all day as well as talk it every Wednesday night or Thursday night, whatever night we decide to do this. But I don't know. I don't know if Giannis is really ever going to find the jumper. You said give him 2 more years in the text message.
That was 2 years ago. I feel
that's into year 9. That means we're waiting a decade for him to find a jumper. I don't know. This is year 7. I don't know.
But when did LeBron find a jumper? About year 9. About year 10 when his shit was like, okay.
Yeah, probably last year in Cleveland, like going into Miami, you were like really respecting the jumper.
You guys gotta think, like LeBron, his first 8 years didn't need a jump shot. And Giannis right now really doesn't need a jump shot. He's never needed a jump shot in his whole life. And it's not like his mechanics are broke. When Giannis shoots a basketball, you don't look away and discuss. It's not broke. Like, it just needs more time. And it was just like with LeBron, his jump shot wasn't ugly. These guys can knock down shots. Because when you see Giannis shoot free throws, I think that's the most telling thing when a guy shoots the free throws because it's a standstill, 15-footer. If your form looks horrible, then you over here shooting air balls, you just can't shoot. Giannis is a 60% free throw shooter, but his form could get him to like a 75 easily, in my opinion. And if he just keeps shooting jump shots, he can definitely get to
I will agree. I think the form's there, right? I do think he has good form, but I don't know. I just don't. Some of his off, and I was being overly critical tonight in the group message, but some of his offensive moves that he puts together for a jumper, like I said, embarrassing, pathetic. Like just they were so
it's no confidence.
bad. No confidence in it. Like he just playing 2K like to jack it up or something. Like it was no confidence in it.
Gotta work on the badges.
Yeah, it's not smooth. It's not smooth at all. It's like he bought a bunch of VC, can shoot, but he has no idea how to shoot yet.
But he's got like a rebounding build. Like, all right, yeah, that was it. The load management today, the guess that clipper, which I think is quickly going to become one of my favorite things, even though I feel like I'm going to be terrible. I don't know if I'll ever find a week where I go better than 3 out of 6 or 3 out of 5. But I am stoked on that. As I said when we got in here, consistently watch, listen, share, tell people. We love doing this.
Tell your grandma best friend to listen to the pod.
Right. And she probably will because she's going to trust you.
Exactly. Like, that's the most dedicated subscribers. We're appealing to everybody.
Did you guys finish your beers?
No, I didn't have half a beer. Boston.
Are we doing it? I'm going right now. I'm doing it.
Just down it? Cheers. George. All right, fuck it.
I'm definitely Stafford. Representing the D.
I didn't enjoy that. If you know how I drink, I didn't enjoy that at all.
For sure.
What?
Zach, I'll let you beat you.
I'm gonna go throw up. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I should have just Stone Cold Steve Austin.
You're not down.
I'm not at all. I like this sweater.
Really like and subscribe, y'all.
Listen, weekly, always. Please. Actually, like Zach said, interact with the Twitter page too. If there's anything you want us to talk, anything you thought we crushed, nailed, you gotta garbage. You gotta expose me for it. Whatever. Interact with us. Tell us. What do you want us to talk about next episode?